Having played the fear for your life card on older people, on veterans, and even on people registered to vote as Republicans, the forces arrayed against health care reform are now targeting women with breast cancer. Seriously, that's coming up. But first, a few holy mackerel stories in today's news. We start in Pennsylvania, where Heather Sherba is a 22-year-old from the Pittsburgh area who was among the 12 victims of that horrible August 4th mass shooting at an LA fitness club in Collier Township, Pennsylvania. 3 innocent people were killed in that attack before the gunman killed himself. Heather Sherba was shot in the leg. She's one of the 9 people who survived their wounds from that shooting. Beyond the emotional and physical trauma of having experienced that completely random, senseless act of violence, Ms. Sherba has had to deal with her injuries without the benefit of health insurance. At age 22, she's aged out of being covered as a child under her parents' plan. And having just graduated from college, she doesn't yet have a job that could provide her with health insurance. And since health insurance is so expensive to buy individually out on the open market, Ms. Sherba, like 47 million other Americans, is going without. Now, she's been injured in that shooting. How exactly does a person in her position manage? Well, in Heather's case, WPXI in Pennsylvania reports that the solution is a car wash. Normally the preferred fundraiser for school trips and marching band uniforms, a car wash to help finance Ms. Sherba's medical bills from her stay at Allegheny General Hospital was organized by her friends and family earlier this month.
Heather is a recent college graduate who has no job or health insurance.
It just feels good inside. You know, you're helping somebody that, you know, she doesn't have insurance, poor thing. So we just thought we should do this.
I'm just absolutely grateful that everybody that is supportive of me and has come out and willing to have a helping hand in raising money for me.
The car wash raised about $500 to help Heather pay her bills. Good on her friends and family, of course, for helping out. Good luck to her as she continues to recover from her very, very, very scary summer. And God forgive the richest nation on earth for making this the excuse we have for a healthcare system. Meanwhile, in Washington, D.C., the effort to stop health reform continues. And for Republican Senator Judd Gregg of New Hampshire, Congress's rules of engagement have conveniently just changed, just in the nick of time. Back in 2005, Republicans were the majority party in the U.S. Senate. Democrats, in the minority, did sometimes use the filibuster to stop Republicans from passing what they wanted with a simple majority. Now, the Democrats didn't use the filibuster nearly as much as the Republicans do now, but they did sometimes use it. In a debate that year over drilling the caribou in the Arctic National Wildlife Refuge in Alaska, Senator Judd Gregg decided that he was done with filibuster. He would have none of it. Republicans wouldn't be able to get 60 votes to overcome that filibuster. So Judd Gregg went to the floor of the Senate to say that drilling in ANWR should be considered under budget reconciliation rules. These rules that would require just a simple majority of 51 votes.
Point, of course, is this. If you've got 51 votes for your position, you win. Is there something wrong with majority rules? I don't think so.
Something wrong? Yes, those were very heady days for Senator Gregg. Then 2006 happened, and then 2008 happened, and now the Republicans are a very, 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 very tiny minority in the U.S. Senate. They are the ones who are filibustering now more than ever. And faced with the real possibility that Senate Democrats could use those same Judd Gregg-approved budget reconciliation rules to pass health reform with just 51 votes, Senator Gregg now wants you to know that he's appalled by that prospect. Appalled, I tell you. According to the Hill newspaper, Mr. Gregg says that Republicans will wage a vicious fight if Democrats use reconciliation rules to pass a health care bill. Senator Gregg threatened hundreds of objections to the bill to stall it and added, quote, "We are very much engaged in taking a hard look at our rights under reconciliation. It would be very contentious." It would be very contentious if they did it. But when we did it, simple, not contentious, majority rules. Senator Judd Gregg keeping to the one true political rule that always holds now among congressional Republicans. It is, like it says back there, IOKWARDI. It's okay when a Republican does it. Always. Very consistent. And finally, health reform has its own fictional badass advocate at last. With Chuck Norris on the birther bandwagon and Hulk Hogan on an anti-property taxes crusade, it has fallen to legendary made-up special agent Jack Bauer to make a progressive case for health reform that has nothing to do with torture.
In the United States, where I am currently living, I see the devastating effects of not having a national health care system. 15% of all Americans, 43 million people, have no health coverage of any kind. If my grandpa were here tonight, he would tell you that our Canadian healthcare system needs to improve, not be cut back. And he would tell you that it was damn well worth fighting for.
Jack Bauer, it turns out, lives by day as an actor named Kiefer Sutherland. He's Canadian by birth, and his grandfather, Tommy Douglas, was a legendary politician from Saskatchewan. Tommy Douglas introduced universal health care in Canada, and for his troubles, he was voted the greatest Canadian of all time in a nationally televised contest a few years ago. And now is the part where I please ask Kiefer Sutherland to come be on this TV show.